Welcome back everyone to Welstopia, and today we are going to be continuing along with our Chamber of Ordeals. And the first thing to note is that I slightly adjusted the exit up here so that it is exactly over this door. So therefore this goes in right at the boundary between the fire and the nether side, and the exit will do the same thing. So it's nice and symmetrical. Now, I was thinking about this chamber here that's for the initiates of the Temple of the Elemental Pine, and I decided that there was something that was missing in all this. It's the pine! So therefore, I'll have to spruce things up a little bit, since unfortunately we don't really have pine in this game. So what I was thinking of was doing that. Now that's going to be the ends. Now I want to make sure that I have everything symmetrical here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we have 2 here, I'll want another one there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh! How in the world did that work out? Good. Well, that's going to be tricky. Well, obviously I'll have to have a break there, since we don't want to trap them inside, and I really can't. Yeah, I really don't want to trap them inside there. So I have to think about something on that in the moment. But the idea then is to have. Actually, I think that would be overkill if I did that. How would that look? Will it look too busy, or will it look fine? It's the wrong proportion for doing something like that. Obviously, that is out. Ah, I know what I can do. And we're going to need a little bit more of this. Like that, and then a little bit more here. And we'll do it like that. Well, actually, if I do that, then maybe what will work then is to go into the ceiling and do it that way. Up like that. Yeah. And that way I don't have the interruption that's on this end. So I think that's a reasonable solution to the problem I had over there. Good. And let's see how that looks. Ooh, where did he come from? I obviously have a spawnable ledge up. One of those things is spawnable. Okay. Hopefully that'll take care of that. Obviously I missed a few ledges here and there. I'll have to look into that in a moment. But let's get back to our current order of business, which is this. Let's look at it from that angle. And I think that will work. I will have to smooth out this thing, because otherwise it gets pretty inconvenient trying to look back here. I think that'll work. I made a few adjustments over here, and I'm now able to get a nice look. That's good. And also, I added some torches over there. I figured that would be a good place to put torches. I am going to do something about the general lighting for this area. Probably have to come up with some sort of floor lighting, but I'm going to need something for that. And unfortunately, I don't have anything I can think of at the moment. Now, I guess the first test for this whole thing is finding that button there, and I'll decide later on whether that is right or not. But before I worry about that, I think I need to work with the initiate cell. This is where the novice goes in preparation for the initiation ceremony and waits. Essentially, it's going to have a bed to rest so that you can reset your spawn point, and also it will have a chest where you can put your stuff, because you'll be expected to go through this without any special equipment. I might have 1 or 2 items that will be provided for the event, but you're not going to come in your fancy diamond armor with the special super sword or anything like that. You'll just have the most basic of equipment, sort of as an equalizer, and to prove that you are meritus. And also, that prevents you from going in with fire protection 3 like I have right here, which is handy for me if I just wanted to skip through this area here. Because look at this, there we go, fire protection 3, no problem. Yeah. No, we can't have that for the initiates, could we? Now, the other thing you'd be doing on the interior, though, is I will be, adding some spruce on the inside. And that way, the initiates are not only trying to pass the ordeal, but also to contemplate, of course, the elemental pine. So therefore, there should be some spruce, since unfortunately we don't have real pine in this game. And that's how we'll handle things. And like, for example, this purpur here. I had planned to use purpur because that was the thing that is most associated with the nether that I could think of, but, well, it is ugly, of course. But in addition to that, I was thinking that perhaps we could replace this with spruce all around here. But that's the idea on that. But with all the mobs turned off, with all the lighting in there, pretty easy to get through there, except through the fire section where you have to slow down and go through there without fire protection. Good. Now let's get to this cell. Right now, of course, it looks super ugly because as we got there. And the idea is that I want to open this up and allow you to save your stuff. But obviously I can't. Well, there are limits to how far I can go into here. You know, it doesn't need to be all that large since it is just an initiate cell after all. The idea here is to just give a place, as I said, to rest. In-game reason, of course, is to reset the spawn point, give you a chest to save your stuff, so that if you go through here and you don't do too well, at least you don't lose all your stuff. The idea there is maybe I could invite a player or two in order to come in here and see how challenging it is, because right now it doesn't look like much, but doesn't look like much because the creator is the one who's been only going through here so far? Or is it because of the equipment I have? Or is it because it's not much? That could be a difference. I decided to extend this out by 1 to allow me to go 1 deeper that way. And I think in order to do what I did over there. Oh yes, I want to do it that way. I shall do the same to denote that this is, of course, a related structure. There you go. Good. Now, of course, we don't want all this diorite here. And what I was thinking of doing was putting... I know, rather fancy for an initiate's chamber, but okay. I suppose that'll do, though. And then get the stone here. We're there. I think I like it. You know I'm going to have to do the same thing over here. Yep. And there we have it. It looks a bit like an H, but I think it'll do. I think that'll do, and I decided to extend that up there also. And I was wondering about what to do with the middle point. In the end, I decided to put some andesite there, because the other choices didn't seem to look all that good. Didn't look too good. It looked a bit bland with the stone there, and I tried spruce there. That didn't work either. It looked too much of a clash. So inside here, now since this is supposed to be a small cell, I was thinking of having this lined with spruce. And see how that looks. Because it doesn't need to be all that large, because this is an initiate and perhaps they have a fancy ceremonial entrance there, but it's definitely not supposed to be the height of luxury. There you go. And oh yeah, so we'll just do this because we want them to contemplate. Yes, on the pine. Alright, there you go. Alright, perhaps that wasn't the brightest idea. Yeah. So instead, we will go down a step. And try it that way. Okay, that obviously means that the sides also will have to be taken care of in the same way. And make sure there isn't some sort of a cave down there before I... Alright. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure that wasn't an entrance to a cave system or anything weird like that. Because it looked rather dark in there. So I wasn't quite sure what was going on there. But it was just pure darkness. There you go. And... ah, yes, stairs. The good news is that that looked fine. The bad news is that I forgot that, of course, I can't use slabs there, because this is supposed to be a place with a bed in it, and you can't put beds onto slabs. Therefore, let that go there. We could place a chest over there. It'd be nice out of spruce so you could contemplate the pine, and I think that means I need to get one little thing to touch everything up. Actually, it's nighttime now, so it's time to test my bed. Make sure I don't take any damage as a result of sleeping here. That's been known to happen on occasion. And I took damage. Okay, so I have to move that to a place that doesn't cause me to take damage and test various locations. Because sleeping shouldn't be the trial of your life. That's the trial of your life. I finally found a position for the bed that doesn't make me take damage. So now we need a little decoration. Actually, we will, of course, have an opportunity to contemplate the elemental pine. So I'll put a spruce sapling there. Now this is where the player, if a player was going through this, where they'll put their belongings before going in. And if you need a little extra room, I also threw the inner chest there. And now we need that to go inside to take care of the next phase for this. Now, in this, we of course need a to take care of the matter of wood and how each of the 4 elements interacts with wood, of course. And so therefore, what I will do is to put, that's not quite what I intended. See, is there a way for me to, actually I know what I can do. I can put this here. How did I manage that? Okay. Wasn't quite what I had in mind, but alright. Oh, ow, ouch! No, not like that. Like that. Alright. So I'll do is I have a couple of pieces of wood on the side like that. And of course, wood feeds fire. So that would obviously be the interaction between wood and fire. So I'll do, now I don't know if this will stay lit or anything like that, but I guess we'll find that out. Alright, so that's how we do it there. Now down here, I would like to add a, I know what I could do. Turn this into a little bit of an alcove. Like this. And what I'll be putting here, actually I don't think I'll have room for this to work. So I suspect that putting a sapling here is never going to grow. If not, well, it'll just represent a sapling then. But if it does grow, yeah, it doesn't grow. I didn't think so. So since it doesn't grow, then we'll just have this represent a oh, wouldn't the mob spawn there? See, how far is this from the center? Right, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I think that might be a regular mon spawn location. Just in case it is, I'll move it here because I'm pretty sure that this is still within the range of the zombie spawner, and I don't want regular mobs popping around, and I suspect saplings won't keep out mobs from spawning. So therefore I'll take this here. Actually, no, not one lower. I'll just put it, yeah, I'll just put this there, put the sapling in there, and that's where we'll make a little corner there, which means I could return these two back to their home. Alright, so we will have this. This is where you could contemplate your little sapling as we go through. Now, interaction between water and spruce, of course, and that is water, of course, floats. Right? I don't mean water floats. Duh. I mean, of course, that yeah, wood floats. And how How's this gonna work? What does that do? Oh, that stops that. Well, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised by that. So therefore, I am going to have to add a little bit more water here. But the idea here then is round. That is completely unconvincing. I am going to have to find some way of representing floating water in here. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So while I contemplate that, let's look around here. Now, I was thinking of changing all these platforms. I was thinking of changing these with spruce platforms, but I have another idea on that account, and that is to have some trees. Oh, duh! That's what I could have done in the earth room. Of course. Of course. I forgot about that idea. I don't need to force the I don't need the sapling to grow or anything like that. What I need is... Well, what I need now is to get out of here. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. Still incompetent at this. Good to see that nothing has changed in the world. In the Earth module, what we'll have is the trunk of a great pine growing up and going up like this. Since, of course, Earth interacts with it by being where the roots of a tree would be. Now, too bad there wasn't a way to have roots, especially in an unspawnable way, but I'm going to have to live with what I've got here. I changed up the water room a little bit, so now I have this. It's not truly floating or anything like that, but as close as I can get. And okay, you can't do there, so you still have to go up through the water, but the floating bit is, of course, the part to contemplate, the floating wood, the raft, on the interaction of the pine with the water. So that leaves here. And to me, the natural interaction is going to be trees, since this is going to represent air. Yes, I know earlier I said it was meant to represent purple and all, but and the end and the like, but I think now that it's more appropriate to think of air instead. That's going to take a little change in thinking and all that stuff, but alright. And what we'll do then is add some leaves. So therefore you're going through the canopy. Yeah, I know it's a pretty short tree, but that's what I've got to work with. And this is what I came up with in the end. Not exactly the most traditional shape for trees and branches, and it's not nearly as much as a parkour course as it was originally, as if the original was, but it does have you in the branches of the trees, and that will be the interaction of trees with air. So I decided to emphasize the interaction of it a little bit more than the major challenge, because partly contemplation and partly, of course, partly ordeal. And of course, it's all going to be a little bit tougher when I take out the lights and those zombies start spawning in. And I think next time we are going to do just that. Find a way to get the lights to turn out. Find a way to activate the zombies and try to give this a test drive. We'll have my armor on for the first round of the test drive, but in later attempts, it's going to be able to see what I can do without that help. And we'll look into that in the next episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft, Welstopia.